place of Matilda Duncan. So let me not do the introduction because she's also she's also powerful when it comes to introduction. So I will not introduce her. So Matilda, I've sent you the co-host. Kindly accept. You're welcome to the space. Thank you for joining us.
As free as possible, have this conversation with the senator. Questions asked will be answered, and we're here. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for joining us, Matilda. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do well to share the space. The press release by the senator is also on the it's on the jumbotron, as they call it. Some people call it the dashboard. So please do well to jump on that press. All right, you can read through. All right, so you don't get misinformed, right? And also share, because it's very important that the real information goes out there. All right, so please do well to share so that we can get people to know what is actually or truly going on. So thank you so much, everybody, for being part of the space. Also share the space link if you haven't. All right, it's the pop-up box, down the space, on the right hand corner of the space, below the space rather. So do want to share the space link, and let's get ready for the senator. But that's a good one. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Okay, so this is good. I see that each and every one of you pushing it, but we need to push it harder. All right, so right, and also share, because it's very important that the real information goes out. Right, it's good. Here, there's a lot of questions going on and all that, and I believe you have words for us, all right, based on what is going on. So I think you have the floor, Mom. Please take it over.
Okay. Sorry, you said hello?
Yes. Hello? Yes, Mom. We can hear you loud.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello?
Yes, Mom, we can hear you. Can you?
Okay.
Yes.
Now I can hear you. You keep going on and off. Now I can hear you.
Okay, I guess it's the network. So, Ma, without taking much of your time, please take the floor. And I know you have words for us based on what is going on. We've read a lot from the press, but we'd like you to speak with us. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay. Well, as you all know, I'm the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, where most of you live, and I'm also on the Electoral Committee. And for about 2 years now, since 2024, we've been debating, well, maybe not quite 2 years, but since 2024, we've been debating and working on the electoral reforms. We sat in joint committees of the House and the Senate. We've had technical partners like Yaga Africa, Black. We've also had, in most of our sessions, we have INEC. So we were not working in a vacuum. We've had several public hearings, we've had retreats, and at the end of it all, we came out with a document that INEC felt was implementable, that was also, we felt, it was the will of the people, and we presented it to the Senate. The Senate also now constituted an ad hoc committee to look at the report. And for the most part, on most things, the ad hoc committee agreed with the original report. Well, they tweaked a few dates, number of days here and there, maybe some things where they felt well, not even some days, but one or two senators felt some penalties were a little too harsh, they were amended. But when it got to the transmission of results, I must say, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say 85% of the senators opted for electronic transmission of the results and uploading onto the IREF portal real time. And we agreed on it. So all this, come out and find out and hear that that's not what we passed is news to me. And a lot of the senators were quite disturbed by it. Now, all I'm going to say to the people, at the end of the day, we are all there to be your voice. We're there to do your will. We're there to represent you. If things you don't like how things are, each and every one of you should reach out to that one or two people who represent you and make them insist that they must do your will. You must hold us accountable. You must demand transparency. These things cannot happen without input from you, the people. Can anybody hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
Laura.
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Did you hear everything I said?
Loud and clear. We heard everything you said.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Distinguished.
Okay. But what, for example, look at the network, simple things like internet, conversations on the phone. Most things don't work properly. I don't know how pleased you all are with the state of things. I can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much, Senator. To be honest with you, I feel like what do you have for those who are already planning protest? I heard that a group of people were at the Senate, House of Senate, protesting and stuff like that.
Well, personally, I think that the protest as it has been done, as we're doing it, has not proved to be very effective. Why protest? Just make that person who represents you, just make your voice heard through the person who represents you.
Madam IRETI, what are you saying now? What are you saying? Oh, Madam, please. What exactly are you saying? What have the people not done? What else do you guys want from the people? How can you say that the protest has proven not to have worked? This is so annoying. Eh? And everybody is on the space and they are not even saying anything. Nobody is pushing back.
Okay, thank you
Evans,
so much,
welcome.
Thank you for giving us the next line of action, because to be honest with you, a lot of people were already taking it overboard, thinking it's over. And now, even in the press, it was read that the bill has not been passed yet. It just passed the third reading. It hasn't. The final stage has not been. It hasn't passed the final stage. Which I think.
Anything.
Oh, she can hear me. Senator, can you hear me? Mashuda, can you say something in case she might be able to hear you?
Distinguished, can you hear us?
Now I can hear you. Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. He was just having a question done to you, Distinguished, about the fact that it hasn't yet been passed, the bill.
So that's why you can your input now is vital and critical.
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm gonna ask if we have any questions for the senator.
Because I am not hearing.
Shola, would you like to host Ma'am, we can hear you.
Of course, we could hear you.
Okay, so at this point, we'll like to ask if we've got any questions for the senator concerning. Yes, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, so it's going to be a quick one. Please just put your hand up.
I can see Mr. Brown.
Yeah, Brown Spice is actually here to ask a question. All right.
All right, Brown Spice, can we hear you?
Good evening, my favorite distinguished senator.
Good evening.
The thing is, good evening, madam. So, we all know what's going on recently in Nigeria. I mean, this whole protesting going on right now, it's not because of the rumor or because the Senate the NASA are reluctant in passing the bill. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
so it's not because they are reluctant on passing the bill itself.
Senator, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to ask you to mute your mic.
Okay.
Please. Thank you very much.
All right. So it's not because we know that to pass an electoral bill or any kind of bill in the House of Assembly, there's a process. You know, it goes through the hearing, the harmonizing, and everything. But you know, Nigeria is in a very critical condition where there is a big trust gap between the both the officials, both the NAS, the House of Rep, and all that. There's a big gap of trust in between, because if we look at what happened during the tax bill, you know, because what the House passed and what they gazetted and what we also got, there were like two gazetted. So there's still lots of trust gap, you know. And then on before this whole thing started, the Senate President himself coming to mentioning transfer and transmission. So, and then these two languages, which if we make reference to the previous to our 2023 election.
Okay, Brown Spice, please take your question straight up. Sorry.
Okay, so I just want to be able to, so I can come down to my question. All right. So, and then if we look at what happened in the 2023 election, where we had issues of opposition and this present administration going back and forth in court about the language of transfer and transmission, and then the Senate President coming to say that some of these new acts has been omitted to transfer and all that, and looking at the history behind this transfer thing in court, where they were now like, okay, if things are transferred, it can be transferred from the where people vote, the voting and to the coalition. So there was a confusion of English.
Mr. Brown, have you got a direct question for the senator, please?
Okay. So my question is
this. Okay, sorry, that is why
I'm telling you, it's very annoying.
Writing the reforms, we were very deliberate about language because of the fact that we had so many issues before. This time we were specific. We said INEC shall. You know, the other 2022 left INEC with a leeway as to they shall transfer it, but it also gave them the option of any other way they so preferred, or that was convenient. This one, when we were in the committee, we argued very, very vehemently about it, all of us, and it was almost unanimous in both committees that we use the word shall and say electronically transferred. So at the end of the day, there should have been any confusion about it. You hear me? Can
Yes,
you hear
we can
me?
hear you, Senator. That's clear.
60.
We can hear you. Thank you so much, Senator, for clarifying that area.
I can't hear anything.
We can hear you loud and clear, Senator. I think, Matilda, you're the one, Senator, can hear us.
Senator, we're here. We can hear you.
Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we were not ambivalent about it. We were very, very specific. We said the presiding officer shall electronically transmit the results from each polling unit to the IREF portal in real time, and that such transmission should be done after the prescribed Form PCAA has been signed and stamped by the presiding officer, and all other countersigned by the candidates or the agents of the candidate. So we wasn't ambivalent, because we wanted them to, we didn't want the same problem that we had in the 2022 Electoral Act.
Okay. Thank you so much, Senator. Thank you. Matilda?
Yes, Brown, was that an answer for you? Thank you so much for your...
That's an answer to that, but then there are still other questions. That's just one of them. Nigeria and patriotic Nigeria.
You know what, Brown?
And I want to consider what
I'm happy to hear.
Let's do it this way, right? Because of time.
I don't shy away from answering any questions, because I always try to tell the truth, no matter what. And this is exactly how things have happened, to my knowledge.
Yeah, sorry.
And we were not even, when we were even leaving, we were not thinking that the electronic transmission was even in question. I was more upset about them even reducing the number of ways people can do primaries. The other ones where the transmission wasn't even in question.
All right, thank you so much again for your time, everyone. Quinn, I see your hands up. Can we please have a direct question?
Okay, good evening. Good evening, my senator. Good evening, host, co-hosts, and every other person on this.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. It's good to have you here. And it's actually a privilege to speak
Thank
with you once again, because I've spoken with you once on Dr. Mo's space before. So it's an honor for me to speak with you again. So a quick one. When are we expected to hear back, when are we expected to hear maybe like the third reading or the third passer, the bill? When are we going to hear from, the House of the Assembly as to when the third bill would be passed, so that we could all put all the false rumors to bed? And
I did not hear the question.
Ooh.
It keeps cutting in and out.
Ma'am, she's asking for a time frame for the third reading. A time frame as to when this would happen.
We've done the third reading, but it cannot be a full bill until the conference committee, from both houses, sit down and they harmonize the bill. But where we, the senators, are a little bit concerned, after all our proceedings in the Senate, whether it is we are in executive session, whether we're in whatever session we're in, we must come back to plenary. And then through the votes and proceedings, which will usually be brought to us the next day, the Senate President reads it and asks us if it's a true reflection of what we agreed on the day before. Now, this time, whenever we're going on recess, they give us like a short adjournment for maybe an hour or so while they prepare the votes and proceedings. They bring it back to us to approve before we go away. This time, the votes and proceedings haven't been brought to the Senate. And if the votes and proceedings of anything is not approved by the Senate, then it is inchoate. I don't know what the conference committee from our side will be deliberating on, because the Senate hasn't given its final, we agree that what you have said or what you have said happened is what really happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that makes it difficult for me to give you a timeline, because we are insisting that we must see the votes and proceedings. That's what authenticates anything we tell you happened, must be in the votes and proceedings. But as of now, we definitely have not approved the votes and proceedings for that day where we finally concluded on the third reading.
Okay,
we did
ma'am.
conclude, but we were not giving. That's what we always do. That whatever I come and say happened, they bring a votes and proceedings that will say, they usually the next day, but not when we are going on recess, saying Senator KINGIBE said this happened, and then they would ask everybody after reading the whole thing, all the things we said happened yesterday, is that a true reflection? He actually says that, and everybody will say yes or no. So I can't really give you a timeline, because I'm just as confused as the other senators.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
That's why I'm saying that you, the people, can still hold us accountable. There's still the final bill. It's not like it's cast in stone yet. You can still influence it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much, Senator, for
clarifying. Shola, this is pretty interesting, and of course, we appreciate this platform once again. And to everybody who's here, I see a question from Abiola. I'm going to take about 2 more questions very quickly. We have barely 10 minutes or less to move on, as we do know the senator is a busy woman. Abiola, please, a really short and direct question. Thank you.
I can't hear the question.
Okay, Abiola,
but if you can hear me, I am still insisting, hold your representatives accountable. It's more effective than going to the National Assembly to occupy it when there's nobody there.
So they did the stink that they did, and they shut it down. So I said it yesterday.
And we appreciate your comment. Is there anybody else with a question very quickly?
Can somebody please repeat Quinn's comment? I didn't hear it.
Oh, it's a thumbs up, man. Just give a thumbs up. All right, Vivian, I see you. Thank you so much. Can we have your question, Vivian? Shola, could you accept Vivian's question, please?
Okay. Trying to sort of see her from my thing, but I can't. So, well, I think the senator has really given us really clear the hair when it comes to the situation of things, right? What I will urge everybody to do is please.
Okay. I guess my question is, I joined late, so there's a lot of confusion. Did the Senate actually refuse the, what's it called? Excuse me right here. Transmission of the election result, or what's the confusion, I guess? Because it's almost like you're saying that hasn't been passed, but we're being told that the Senate did not approve this. So I guess, where do we stand with this right now?
That's why we did the press conference.
I'm so sorry, I joined late.
And heard in the public space that we had rejected electronic transmission, which is not true. And if you listen to the Senate President's conclusion at the end of our plenary, he said we had not rejected electronic transmission. Now, we have documents that we worked with. So that was why the next day, some of us senators, we had a meeting that same night to say, what's this? We're confused. We're not doing this. This is not what happened. So we now had a press conference to say that is not a true election of what went on in the Senate.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
So I guess it's more misinformation. Is that one? Hi, I can hear you.
So that is where there's otherwise there'll be no issue. We in the Senate believe, just like in the House, that we passed electronic transmission. We're hearing that the Senate did not pass electronic transmission. Now, when the conference committee sits down to harmonize, if you all have put enough pressure on I take that back, if you have held your representatives accountable, then the final bill will say electronic transmission, because that's really what happened. Why there's any confusion at all, I don't understand.
Okay, so it's still ongoing.
Thank you so much, Ma. Is it possible for us to access that? Should I call it a bill so we can also read and see what it contains?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't
So
know
they
if
haven't
actually read that,
rejected
but
it.
the press release up there,
That's
the
why
details
ELECTORAL
of
is saying no.
the bill,
I
right?
didn't.
Included. Yeah, Senator, she was asking if it's possible to see the bill. Is it possible? Is it something that?
You mean is it possible for you to see what we passed with our working documents to show that there was no place where we changed it?
Yeah, that was what she asked.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I'm asking for the bill itself so that we can see everything that's contained.
Wow, Nigerian network.
We do apologize for the network service. Of course, we do know how Nigerian.
Yes, we do.
I'm not so sure that we have time for one more question.
This is so frustrating. I have 3-4 different internets in this house just so I should be able to talk to you seamlessly, but it's not.
Let her go and come back. Let her go and come back.
I can hear that. I can hear you now.
Great. We're going to be able to take about 2 more questions, if this is okay. I think Pharmacy. We'll have Pharmacy, and she.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So, Pharmacy, can we have your question, please?
Yeah. Good evening, Senator KINGIBE.
Good evening.
We saw it on channels when they said the Senate has rejected the electoral mandatory transmission of results, and later we saw senators coming out to say that that is not what happened and all that. And I can liken it to how the tax bill came up, and the tax bill, it's just the tax bill, because what we saw was that the senators are saying that what they passed in the tax bill is not what the president gazetted. And right now, to me, that is a breach of the Senate rules for the executive to pass a bill that was not gazetted by the senators. And I've never seen any senators rise to say they want to impeach the president.
Exactly.
Gross misconduct. And right now,
they wanted to do what?
I'm not seeing any senator coming to
sit
say
down
they
for
want to impeach the president for gross misconduct in respect of the tax bill. And now we are having this electoral bill. So why do you want we Nigerians to trust the senators that what Channel said yesterday is actually not correct?
Let me also tell you. You see, we pass laws. So if you go behind our back and change the law that we passed, to be very honest with you, it's only a few days ago. We have only been we came back from recess how long? On the 27th. Then in the few days, we're trying to do budget, we're trying to do this. They just, a few days ago, gave us all the tax bills to see the discrepancies. It is only after that we would then be able to impeach anybody if it's impeachable. The truth is that you have to trust some of us. You have to evaluate us individually. If we were all going to just keep quiet, some people will not shout, no. Everybody who was there knows that that's not what we agreed on. But some of us decided to put it to the public that that's not what happened. Now, because we have started making a fuss, remember that this bill is going to be harmonized. Chances are quite high that when it is harmonized, it will be the correct thing the senators passed. And senators cannot do much of anything unless they're plenary. Immediately after this happened, we were put on recess. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello? Even if we wanted to do anything, we have to have plenary to do it.
Right.
Even if we all want to shout and say, that's why we came to I did a press conference. If we had plenary the next day, we wouldn't come to you. We'd go to the floor of the Senate and say, no, that's not what happened. And remember, they're still going to bring a votes and proceedings to the Senate, which hasn't been done, to say, is this a true reflection of what we did? Am I making sense to you? So sometimes you think that we can do and undo. So it's so frustrating when a lot of the people in the majority, even when they agree with us, they do not make a lot of fuss. It's opposition senators that can make a lot of fuss because they're opposition. Even during this process, we had, all those of us in opposition had to really fight for us to speak. For me, it did not matter much because I was part of the committee that produced the bill in the first place.
Thank you so much again, everyone, for being here. We're going to go with Geopolitics. Am I correct? Yeah, but Good evening, Senator. Thanks for coming here today. I honestly appreciate you. I just want to go straight to the question. One of the reasons...
What happened?
But first, is
Yeah, good evening, Senator. Thanks for coming here today. I honestly appreciate you. I just want to go straight to the question. One of the reasons 2023 I was in Abuja. One of the reasons we elected a lot of LP senators and House of Reps members was because the result was transmitted from the polling unit, and I can testify.
Exactly.
And I just want to ask you. There was a committee that passed the bill first before coming to the main house. If it's possible, you have the document with you here, or if it's not here, let us know. I would like to know exact words used on the e-transmission of result, exact words passed by your committee before coming to the floor. Because what I'm saying is that I understand Nigerian laws very well. There's difference between shall and may. It's very important because you asked us to go back to our House of Reps. I want to know what to discuss with them, right? Whether it's real time from the polling unit or transmission, just like that. Because when you say transmission just like that, it has to go to the collation center they will transmit. And this is what we don't want. We want it to come from the polling unit. So I wish to know exact words that was used on that line. Any other thing I'm not interested, but this particular one is what I'm interested in. If you have it, please let us know. And what other stage are we expecting from now? Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I'm ready. The presiding officer, please look at the 2022 one, and you will see the difference between that and this one. The other one says they should transfer, and gives INEC the option of doing otherwise if they so please. This one says the presiding officer shall electronically transmit the results from each polling unit to the IRETI portal in real time. That's what was in original document. Have I answered your question?
Exactly, you have answered. So we should be expecting transmission real time from the polling unit, and that's what we should be demanding from our representatives, right?
Exactly. You see, that is what is on the bill, and that is what, believe me, we had an executive session, and it was across party lines. It wasn't just opposition senators that we were not even allowed to speak that much. To be truthful, all the APC ones were all shouting electronic transmission, and that is the truth. And it would be unfair to say it was just us. Practically, most of the senators opted for this method of transmission. So the same way you other APC senators are held accountable by the Constitution, so you hold me accountable also. So we should also wait while you are insisting to your representative that this is what it must be. We should see what happens next and see what the conference committee comes up with. Remember, it's just not only the Senate, there's the House. They were unequivocal about it being electronic transmission. So the two houses are going to sit down and come up with one bill. And I believe that the fact that we put this in the public space, that the final one would be electronic transmission. Whether the president signs a bill or not is not up to us. Do you understand what I've said? So we're not, the senators, believe it or not, we are trying to do what is right for our people. We are trying, and that's the reason it came out this way. And to show you how insistent we have been, we have changed. The Central Committee Chairman was there trying to explain that this thing was extensive. And based on that, I think we will get the correct one. It could have been an error. Because when I was even drawing attention to the leadership that this is what we said, though, he said, yes, that's what we all said, electronic transmission. So I'm not sure where the errors come from. I'm not sure how it came about in the news that we rejected it. Truly, I cannot tell you, as most senators cannot tell you. But we came out to hear that that's what we did. It wasn't.
Thank you very much, distinguished, for your answer. I hope that definitely solved your, question. We would only have time for one final question, please. The senator has to go on ahead and just, handle other matters. Shola, I'm going to have you pick the final question, and then we'll hear a few more words from the senator, and then, of course, we'll have to say appreciations to everyone. Shola?
Thank you so much, Matilda. Thank you so much, Senator, for the past few years that I've known you. You've been a woman of confidence. You've stood your ground. You don't do eye service, or you do what is best for the people at all times, and you don't do showmanship. You do your work. You don't announce. You just go ahead and do whatever is best for your people at all times. We appreciate you for all you do. That's from me to you, Senator. So I would go with Dr. Bell.
Thank you. I appreciate those things. Thank you.
So I'll go to Dr. Bello. Dr. Bello, let's have your question so that we can. Senator, the time is fast spent, please.
Thank you very much, for the opportunity. Thank you, co-host. Thank you, Senator, for being here as well. I listened to Senator Omoye yesterday, and I also listened to the press release that you were involved in, Senator. And what we can all gather from what he said and what you was said in the press briefing was that everything happened on the floor of the Senate.
Thank you, co-host. Thank you, Senator, for being here as well. I listened to Senator Omoye yesterday, and I also listened to the press release that you were involved in, Senator. And what we can all gather from what he said and what you was said in the press briefing was that everything happened on the floor of the Senate. I understand you said you don't know where the error is coming from, but from what Senator Omoye said, it was the bill was being passed. Without going into details, I know you don't have time, but the bill was being passed, and then in the front, someone somewhere made a call that he wants to make a change, make an amendment to what was proposed, and then it was supported, and then the gavel went, and then it was passed. That's what Senator Omoye said. And by virtue of that, we can agree to that because already the Senate has constituted a conference committee, and by constituting a conference committee, what it's saying is that the Senate have already passed a bill that needs to be harmonized with the House of Representatives. So my question is, Senator, would you agree with me that the senators were caught off guard because they weren't paying attention to what was happening on the plenary, on the floor of the Senate, and that is why there was a lacuna, there was an opportunity to quickly make an amendment. Someone seconded, and then it was passed. The gavel went. That's my question. And secondly, from what we are understanding is that the person that made that suggestion for amendment was Senator Mongono. And Senator Mongono, correct me if I'm wrong, please. And Senator Mongono is listed among the harmonizing committee, those that are going to go to harmonize with the House of Reps. Are you confident that this conference committee will do the right job, would serve the interest of the Senate, which you're part of, if that's the person that betrayed the Senate? And also, last question, do you honestly believe that the Senate President is above impeachment, given the antecedents of things that we've seen in the 10th Senate? From your own personal position, do you think that President is above impeachment? And why are you being subservient to all of these things that we are seeing happening in the 10th Senate?
To start off with, we can start with your last question. I have never been subservient. If you ask anybody, I'm one of the most vocal senators in the Senate. If I'm not allowed to speak on the floor of the Senate, I speak everywhere else. That's number one. Number two, nobody's unimpeachable. Thirdly, if you ever look at a copy of this bill, electronic transmission is section 60. So it goes without saying that we had long passed it. The time you're at the end, we had long passed it. In fact, there was a bit of ruckus. We had finished. We had gone to the end of the bill. We'd agreed to everything that was done. At the end, there was a bit of ruckus because some of us were fussing that the primaries should have been left the way the two committees had said and stuff like that. So if that happened between them, we certainly didn't say yes or no because Senator Mongono says something and Babio knocks the gavel. The whole Senate, we were already standing and making a lot of noise. So there's no way we expected that what we were done. If you look at a bill, this particular bill, go to the end, even nomenclature, everything else, we were gone to the end, or else we were standing up getting ready to go. Then they were constituting the conference committee. That's probably when all this happened. They did not put the electoral chairman, the committee, the electoral matters, the chairman was not included. The chairman of the ad-hoc committee was not included. And so as soon as Senator Ndume drew our attention, we started to yell. Maybe that's when that happened because I don't know. When we were done, and Ababio started to say something that we did not reject electronic transmission because we said it should be transferred. That's when the whole place went crazy. That's not true. And to say that, look, have you noticed how many? There are 109 senators. Maybe there are probably 30 opposition senators left. So you are still back to what I'm telling you. The solution lies with you and us. You put me here. The same way every constituent put their senator there. There have been times when things have come up that all the senators put their foot down. Why did we? Because I said constituents put their foot down. And if you don't see that is the only way that this country is going to move forward is when the people start holding their representatives accountable. Like everything else in life, if there's no accountability, then everybody will do whatever they want. That's the truth. And I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, Ma, you echoed what I said. What was proposed was not what was eventually passed. And there's no contention on that. On the issue of like what you said, we should go back and
under my interruption. You know, there are 5 people from the Senate, of which 3 from my are people who have they have to be held accountable to the original documents they brought. If you look at the House, they're like double or triple the number of people that we are. That is what the committee is. Do you understand? So you're still back to what I'm telling you, that the final document that is brought out is not necessarily going to be what the Senate said, because what the leadership of the Senate is claiming that the Senate said, because we can't call it a final thing. There's no votes and proceedings on it. After the votes and proceedings are passed, that's when you say that is what happened. As long as there's no votes and proceedings on it, you can't saying that's what happened. But they and us are going to look at, and that committee is going to bring out one document. There's still a lot of chances that that document will be what you want. Because if other people brought that document, that what the House brought out is a document you want. So please hear me. I've spoken to you, and you should understand that the people cannot just grumble and say, "Oh, you didn't do." Okay, let us say I'm your wife. Every day you beat me, and when you finish beating me, I'll come and hug and kiss you. What will stop you from beating me the next day? It's only if I insist that you cannot beat me. So please, I think that I, just like you, want free and fair elections. A free and fair election is what produced me. So, and there are also many senators who feel that they have the popularity of their constituents, and they also want free and fair elections. Hold your representative accountable, period.
Thank you very much, Ma, for the clarification. It's not another question. I just want to thank you.
We would have to just really say thank you at this point.
Yes, I
just give him the 1 minute to just say what he wants to say.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you. I really appreciate it. The clarification is that regardless of whatever happened, something somewhere happened. What was passed was not what you intended, and you want there's still one legislative step left, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
What I want to say, Ma, is I think, in as much as you say we should go back to our representatives, I think the ball is sitting in your court to hold the leadership accountable.
Exactly.
To make sure that what the Senate wanted, what was proposed, is what will come out eventually, and that is what will go to the conference committee. I think you still have that responsibility.
I would like
exactly.
you to whose court? I keep telling you, as things stand now, the Senate is on recess. Whose court? You said the ball is in our court. In whose court? Senator Kingibe's court?
Was passed, there's still an accountability to hold the leadership on how
exactly.
It's not what was passed.
Exactly.
Leadership accountable during recess.
When you come back from recess, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I'm not the legislator. So before it comes back to the people to hold our people accountable, you, the senators, need to
exactly.
on how you went through all this process.
You're pushing it back on the citizens.
Should I ask you something? Do you really believe by the time we go back, do you want a fait accompli? It's like saying that during third term, when President Obasanjo was trying to get the third term, and the people were telling their legislators and their representatives, no, we don't agree. You are sort of implying that they should have waited after third term was passed as a law. Then they should say, no, we don't agree. Then they go back
to what I said,
and say, no, we don't like it.
I don't even see why the plenary ended without clarification. But
exactly.
The legislative to you, Ma, and I just made my point. Thank you very much, host and everyone, and thank you, Senator, for the opportunity to ask the question.
And I would like to think that I've also made my points.
Yes, you have. The bottom line is that you guys were caught off guard, and you now have to go and clarify what happened and how can it be rectified.
Let me tell you, can I say something? Good governance is synergy between the governed and the people governing. It has to be. That is what I have observed to be a major lacuna and a problem in the country. And on that note, I say thank you all very much for having me on this platform.
I beg, you are not being honest, Mr. Senator ELECTORAL. You are not honest, I beg. I'm sorry, I disagree. All this time that these people have been shouting, you guys see what's going on in Nigeria. You see how beaten down the people are. People have been crying, talking. You cannot say you are not aware of what people are saying. To keep pushing it back on the same citizens that you're beating down is really, it doesn't, to me, personally, it doesn't make sense. With respectfully, Senator ELECTORAL. Nah, you cannot be pushing your responsibility on the people. This man is right. You also have a responsibility to hold your fellow senators to account. Every time, this is the second time I think I've heard you say the citizens. Come on. What are you people in the Senate for? Is it to collect email? Anyway, Sha, I know they insult you, madam. I know say you rough. The terrain you are is very rough with all the men, nothing working, no light, even to even talk self, that and a struggle. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's the end of it. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.